What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Dre for Athletes, and let's get right into the video, honestly. No bullshit. How to properly warm up before you lift. And just like I said, right? No bullshit, just what works. I'm constantly trying to, provide value without, skimming through it and telling you guys these random ass things that don't work. This is all stuff that I've done in my career being an athlete and in my teachings, right? And through all the athletes and all the people I teach. So, most warm-ups are a waste of time, right? You do 5 minutes on the bike, a couple stretches, and then straight into your working sets, right? There's no actual structure, no consistency. Does that sound familiar? It probably does, because this is what 98% of people are doing based on what I know and based on everyone I see in the gym, right? So stretching alone doesn't turn anything on. That's not what we call warm-up. That's what we call stalling. Right? You'll show up to the gym and you just like do some random ass stuff because you feel like you need to act like you're warming up, right? You feel like, oh, okay, this is just, I take 5-10 minutes to myself and just move it around a little bit. There's no actual structure to your warm-ups. You'll do a little jog, right? A slow jog doesn't prep your squat, right? Pretty much what you're doing when you do this, guys, is you're just delaying the workout. And by the way, I have a stuffed nose, so bear with me. I've had a stuffed nose for the last 3 days. Hasn't been good, but it is what it is. But anyways, let's get back to it. You're just delaying the workout, right? You're not preparing your body for it. Preparing your body for a lift, for a workout, whether that be power, strength training, like literally anything, it's like an art, right? And so a slow jog doesn't really do much. Like a slow jog is better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing, but it doesn't prep your squatting. It doesn't prep your sprinting. And like I said, you show up to the gym acting like you're warming up, but deep down, you're not actually doing anything. Next here, a real warm-up does 3 things. Okay, so these are 3 things are crucial, and every actual good warm-up does these things, right? So 1, raises your body temperature. Pretty self-explanatory. 2, turns on the muscles you're about to use. And 3, preps the exact movement you're about to do, right? If your warm-up isn't doing one of these things, right? A lot of people raise your body temp, right? You'll do a slow jog. That'll raise your body temp, but you're not actually you're not turning the muscles on properly that you're about to use, and you're not actually prepping the exact movements you're about to do, right? So number 1, raising your temp, right? So bike, jump rope, a light jog, that's all good, right? You can do that 3 to 5 minutes. The whole goal here with raising your temperature is just a light sweat, right? Nothing more. Like, there is such a thing as warming up too much, and I used to do this where I would literally warm up for 30 minutes, and I was just exhausted, right? The goal, like I said, the goal is just a light sweat. There's nothing more that you're trying to achieve with this first key than just getting a light sweat. You're not, and like I said, you're not trying to get tired here, right? I see a lot of people most people don't warm up at all and don't do it properly, but there is a very select few that run through these 25, 30-minute workouts. And by the time they get to their actual warm-ups, by the time they actually get to their workouts, they're drenched in sweat and exhausted. And they don't understand that, sure, you might be warmed up, but it's bleeding into your workout and you're leaving gains on the table, right? Number 2 here, turning the muscles on, right? So things like glute bridges, band walks, hit whatever you're about to train, right? So you should feel the muscle working, not just moving. This is the step almost everybody skips. So look at your warm-up, and you might be doing a 10-minute nice warm-up. You might be raising your temperature, right? You might be feeling ready to go, but are you actively turning your muscles on? And again, for the most of you, no, you're not. You're raising your temperature. You're doing step number 1, which is good. You're getting a light sweat, right? Even if you're not spending 30 minutes, that's good. 10 minutes, light sweat, you're fine, but you're not doing anything like glute bridges, you're not doing any banded work, right? And again, guys, this is very, very light stuff. You might think, oh, why would I do glute bridges? Why would I do band walks? This is gonna make the workout harder. And guys, that's not the case. You actually have to activate your muscles. Like I said, turn the muscles on before you actually get to moving weight, before you get to sprinting or jumping or whatever. And again, everybody skips this. Number 3 here is prepping the actual lift. Okay, so once you finish raising your temp, once you finish activating your muscles, start with the empty bar, right? I mean, there's some people that like let's just take squatting for example. There's a very select few people that warm up with a plate on the bar before they actually touch the bar. And guys, like, unless you're like a professional power lifter, and you've been lifting for years and years, like the vast majority of people, like 99% of people should be lifting. Like, let's just say for squat, you should be squatting with the bar first. I don't care how strong you are. Like, I literally watched a video of Larry Wheels. For those of you that don't know Larry Wheels, he's, one of the strongest dudes ever. Deadlifted like over 900, I think, in his prime. And I saw a video, he's deadlifting to warm up with the bar first. That's a deadlift too. We're talking about squats and, other workouts like bench and stuff like this. But Larry Wheels, guys, is warming up with the bar. What the hell do you think you're doing warming up with a 25 or a 45, And that's for deadlifts too. So back to the prepping the actual lift, like same movement pattern, lighter load. So you want to actively train your central nervous system, train your body, train your muscles, train everything to do the movement pattern to the best of your ability, right? With lighter loads, because obviously once you get higher and higher, once you put more and more weight on there, like your form will naturally break down, right? So we want to perfect our form with lighter loads, the same exact movement pattern with a lighter load, and then just naturally work our way up. And here, by your last warm-up set, you should feel ready to go. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. Like, order matters, okay? General before specific. So get the whole body moving before you focus on one specific joint, right? That's in your raising your temperature, right? Like I said, like a slow bike, light jog, jump rope, like all that stuff is very general stuff, right? Just to get a light sweat going, just to raise your temperature, your body temperature. After that, we can get specific, right? But you need to start with low intensity before you do high intensity. You build up to the hard stuff. You don't start there, right? So you need to, I'm trying to think, it's like think of like a car going on a highway, right? You wouldn't just you slowly get onto the freeway and you'll slowly become faster and faster onto the freeway. I know I'm doing a shitty job of explaining this, but you guys just picture a car getting onto the freeway or highway. Like, it's slowly getting there, right? You'd feel stupid if you got onto that lane where you want to merge and just immediately be at like 120 miles an hour. Like, it'd be stupid, right? It's the same thing with your lifts. My nose is cooked, by the way, but anyways. Next here, movement before load. Your joints move first, the bar comes after, right? So it's all connected here, right? Low intensity before high intensity, movement before load. Like, it's all connected. You can't load your joints with heavy weight or with any weight before you move them with no weight, right? You can, but you're putting yourself at risk for injury. You're putting yourself at risk for you're not gonna lift your heaviest. You're not gonna move your fastest, right? You might not get hurt, but let's say you warm up with 135. You're just leaking power. You're leaking strength just because your joints and muscles aren't fully awakened, right? They're not fully up, and so let's say you could have max squatted 405 that day, right? You could have max squatted 405, but instead you settle for 385 just because of your warm up. And a lot of people don't understand that it's a key factor in how much you lift and how fast you move. So you skip a step and you show up to your working sets half ready. That's literally what I was talking about, right? So next, keep it tight, okay? 8 to 10 minutes. Like I said, like not 30 minutes, not 25 minutes. If your warm-up takes longer than your workout, it's built wrong. Obviously, that's a very, very severe case where I don't think I've ever met or seen anyone warm up for an hour. I definitely know there's people out there that do 40-minute workouts, but like keep it tight. Like 8 to 10 minutes is all you need, right? Maybe 15 at the absolute max. And again, like you guys might be thinking 8 minutes, 10 minutes, like, no, like that's too little. No, it's not, because think about it. Like, you're probably going in there, you have no clear plan as to what you're trying to do with your warm up. You're probably talking to your friends, right? You're probably on your phone scrolling TikTok. And by that time, already 10 minutes has passed and you haven't done anything. If you actually get into the gym and you have a structured warm up and you're doing it 10 minutes, like my warm up is 10 minutes myself, and I do a lot of the same things every time, and I know exactly what my body needs. But like again, like not more than 10 minutes, not more than, 15 minutes at the absolute max. But again, like keep it tight, but your warm up shouldn't be 2 minutes either, right? You need to do the actual proper things to get your body warm. So here's the one I run before I lift, right? So I do the same routine whether it's an upper body day or a lower body day. My hips, hamstrings, shoulders, core, all of it in one go. And this is just something that I've experienced with and that works for me, right? I'm not saying you should run the same exact warm up every single time. It should be somewhat similar in my opinion, but this is just what works for me. And everything here, like you have a foundation, right? 8 to 10 minutes, blah, 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 blah. You have your light jog, you have your bike, right? But for certain people, things will work better than others, right? So you have, like I said, to raise your temp, right? If we go back to point number 1, there was 3 things there. There was the jump rope, the bike, and the slow jog, right? You'll never catch me slow jogging or doing the jump rope. Slow jog here and there, but mostly like I'm hopping on the bike, 2 to 3 minutes on the bike, getting my legs moving, right? But I know other people that they would do a slow jog, they would do some side shuffles, they would do some arm swings, like just to kind of get ready and get a light sweat going, right? So everyone is different, right? But here is the warm up I do, and you can do this as well. But again, at the end of the day, guys, like you shouldn't be copying exactly others, but you should be taking bits and pieces and make it to your own, right? Take those ideas and kind of add them to your toolbox. So get the hips and legs moving. So I'll do dynamic pigeons. For those of you that don't know what dynamic pigeons are, think of like a pigeon stretch, but I'm going back and forth between them. So it's like an actual dynamic. And I'm glad that I'll put this right here. I'm glad that my nose, sorry for the sniffles. I'm glad that I brought this up because I don't think you should be static stretching before your lifts. I don't think it's the end of the world if you do, but research has shown, and even from my experiences, the times where I've static stretched before lifts, like I feel weaker, I feel slower. So I don't recommend static stretching, and I don't think you should at all. So definitely don't static stretch before you lift. But so like this would be an actual regular dynamic. It would be a regular static pigeon, but I'm turning it into a dynamic, right? So I'm not spending more than like 1 second, 1.5 in that actual pigeon stance before I rotate, right? So I'll do dynamic pigeons. I'll do leg swings. There's a couple different variations, front and back and side to side. Loosens your hips and hamstrings. The dynamic pigeons opens up your hips. I'll do Frankensteins. I love Frankensteins. And again, guys, like this is all stuff that I've experienced with, right? I've experienced with other movements that don't really seem to work too well for me. But again, like it's just trial and error a lot of times, especially if you're young. If you're older, you'll get a sense of what works for you. But I've warmed up so much that I understand what my body needs. After those 3, I'll get the whole body moving together. I'll do some, obviously this is all after step number 1, which is raising my temp. Like I said, I'll do like 2 to 4 minutes on a bike. After that, I'll get the whole body moving together, right? I'll do forward skips with arm circles, some inchworms, right? I mean, yeah, again, like you look at inchworms, a lot of you guys would be half-assing the inchworms, but like I really do get my shoulders in the movement, right? After that, I'll do some 3-way step over for some rhythm, hips moving in every single direction, not just forward and back. So really getting my body, really getting the foundation ready before I even touch a weight. And here's the thing, guys, like 6 exercises in, plus the bike, right? Bike is, let's just say 4 minutes on the bike. I'll go up to 5 minutes on the bike. Plus these 6 exercises, like these are like maybe 2 minutes for all of these 6, so we're at 7 minutes. Wake up the core and legs. I'll do some rotational twists. Really good for waking up your core and your trunk before you load it. Some light pogo hops. Get a little bounce back in the legs before you lift. I do use it. It's light pogo hops. Sometimes I'll do a little bit higher intent to wake it up. But like most of the time, it's just like 20-30% effort, light pogo hops. And then back pedal sprints. I only do these back pedal sprints on sprint days only, right? So it's just even more prep before I move my body actively like as fast as I can. And these back pedal sprints and these light pogo hops, it's very low effort. After that, depending on the day, right, I'll do Spanish squats. So I finish with these on lower days to get the quads and knees ready right before I load up. So if you guys don't know what Spanish squats are, you put one band between, or one band on each leg behind your knee and just squat down. It's really good for your knees, really good for everything to warm up. And this is the activation I was talking about, right? Activating. And then the upper day, I'll do light banded push-ups. A few easy sets, honestly, a few easy reps. I'm gonna change that in the PowerPoint, but dude, honestly, like just a few easy reps to wake my chest and shoulders with actual activation, right? With a band before the real work starts, right? Before I bench, before I press, whatever it may be. And again, like everything you see here, like this is just, I'm not doing the same exact stuff every single time, right? So this is the actual framework, but if my legs are not feeling too good on a certain day after I do this, I'll add in more, right? I might do 2 sets instead of 1 set of Spanish squats, right? I might do more rotational twists. Like it all depends on how you're feeling that specific day, right? So again, like you can use this framework, but I don't want you to think that it's going to work perfectly for you. It might, very light percentage chance it does, because this is what works for me and my body and my mind and my workouts, right? But it might not work for you. So so here are common mistakes I see all the time. Like I said, skipping the activation step completely, right? Which is, those Spanish squats and light banded push-ups. You'll raise your temp, right? And you'll actually warm up, but you have no actual true activation. You stretch, you do some static stretching for 10 minutes, then wondering why you feel loose but weak, right? Because you're doing so much static stretching. You get to the gym and you start stretching. You didn't raise your temperature, right? And you feel weak. You feel loose, but you feel weak because there was no muscle activation, right? Again, a huge mistake I see here is jumping straight to your first working set cold. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You show up to the gym, I see this all the time. It's craziness. It's craziness how many people I see do this. More so younger people than older. Because as you get older, you understand the importance of actually warming up, because you need a little bit more, not too much. But I see this all the time where you jump straight into your set, your first working set cold, no activation, no raising your temperature, and your body and joints, my nose, are just fighting each other, right? They're fighting each other, and you wonder why. Eventually you'll get hurt. You won't make as much progress as you can, and you're just not gonna be at your best potential. And then the last one here is doing the same 5 stretches every day, no matter what you're training. So this is literally exactly what I was talking about with, you have routine, right? Routine is good, but there's no adjustments based on what you're training. There's no adjustments based on how your body feels day to day. There's no adjustments based on anything, right? So that's a huge one too. Like just doing the same mindless thing, scrolling TikTok, 5 stretches, 2 minutes of static stretches, and no matter what you're training. So here again, very, very easy framework. Raise it, right? Raise your body temp, turn it on, turn your muscles on, and prep to lift, right? 3 steps every single time you lift. And again, like it'll look different for everyone, but this is the standard right here, right? Raise it, turn it on, prep to lift, no matter who you are, right? The exercises might look the same, the time might look the same, right? And how long you're actually doing it might look different based on what you're lifting, how your body feels, what you did the day before, what you have the day after, right? If I show up to the gym and I feel like I need more warm up, I'm going to do more warm up, right? If I feel like I need to stretch it out to 15 minutes instead of my regular 10 to 12, right? I'm going to do that, right? You need to have routine, you need to have foundation, but you can't be scared of changing it up. Okay, so that's all I had for the video today. Very, very self-explanatory. If you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment below and subscribe for more videos, and also drop a comment on what you want to see next, because I'm going to start doing more of these videos. I love teaching. I love speaking about what's worked for me. And that's the thing I do on this YouTube, guys. It's like most of the stuff, or pretty much all the stuff I talk about on my YouTube, on my Instagram, if you came from there, is stuff that I've done, right? I'm not going to tell someone to do something if I've only seen it on social media. I have to actually, and this is a big reason as to why I train so hard too. It's like, I want to feel what that specific movement feels like. I want to feel what that specific warm-up routine feels like before I prescribe it to others, right? And but even then, it's different for everyone, right? Everyone is completely different. So, one last time, raise it, turn it on, prep the lift, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.